Hi, I'm Anna.
And I'm Ben.
And we are AutoSave. Welcome to our channel.
Today we're watching Haikyuu, Season 4, Episode 3. Last time on Haikyuu, we had Hinata leaving the utility closet that he was in, and hopefully we will see him rejuvenated and passionate and having clear motivation and a great perspective of things. We only could really read his face through the face of Tendo, and not really any face from Wakatoshi. He always looks the same. But Tendo, definitely, he looked a little more intrigued. And that's interesting to me because how is Hinata's perspective as a ball boy not only going to help him, but also affect the other people in the camp, you know?
Right.
Are Tendo and the rest of the players in the court going to feel the tenacity on the sideline of Hinata just sitting there waiting?
Is the coach of Shiratorizawa going to feel it? Is Hinata going to do anything that's going to make the coach realize what worth Hinata has even without Kaguya-sama?
Question for you. Would the coach go back on his word of not letting him play regardless of what he does or shows?
I don't know where they're going to go with that, because I could totally see them being like, well, here's the knowledge and things that Hinata is going to learn from this ball boy role that he's actually going to take seriously now. And then I could also see it going the route of he does something that makes the coach of Shiratorizawa involve him more. I don't know which way it's going to go. Part of me, for the fact that you never want a character in a show that's given undeserved opportunities, so much so. And so I feel like Hinata, I kind of don't want him to just do one flashy thing and be given the opportunity to be a part of this camp. I would much rather see him take this position of ball boy and make it something he can really make his own and learn whatever he's searching for, whatever he needs to find within this role. I think that would, as a viewer, would be a much more enjoyable experience watching Hinata.
I love the way you put that, and I completely agree. It would feel well-deserved. I would have more hype
like
behind the character.
Like he put in the work.
He
made it something for himself.
Yep.
And I would enjoy that so much more.
I would enjoy it so much more because he also put himself into this position. He wasn't asked to be part of the camp. So it's just really making the most of the situation that you are in and not being given something like you were saying.
And then wouldn't that make the coach of Shiratorizawa even more impressed by him?
Yeah, I think so.
His tenacity, his dedication, his love of volleyball, keeping himself there even though he's not getting to play, and doing the job of ball boy and actually making it worth his time. That is just so much more impressive.
I completely agree with you. One last question. Do you think the coach of Shiratorizawa, after his volleyball experience, he became a ball boy?
Well, wasn't that kind of what I don't remember like super clearly the flashback of the coach, but I feel like that might have been what he actually had to do
because of his height.
Because of his height.
And his lack of what Hinata has, at least.
The jump.
The stamina. The vigor.
Okay. Hinata's main point, like, I wouldn't even say the jump is the, like, best thing he has going for him. I think it's his stamina. It's his energy level.
His unwavering drive. The only time I think we've ever seen Hinata hit a limit was in the end of last season when he was like hitting his leg. Yeah.
His legs hit a limit. They didn't want to move, but that was so that was happening to a lot of the other characters too.
Very true.
Because it was a 5 set, not a...
It was instead of a typical 3, right?
Okay.
You ready? Sweet.
The aura. Are we gonna see some cool imagery from Tendo's perspective?
The music's cool.
Show me some wings or something. That's what Ushijima thinks he is. Yeah. He hates it. I have a question for you, since you asked me questions in the opening. What manga did Tendo lend to Ushijima to read last episode?
Great question.
If you were gonna recommend a manga to Ushijima.
Given.
I hope it was Given.
I think that it would be Given because of the visual comparisons from Kaguya-sama and Hinata, and that I think that he would love it. He would love it, but he wouldn't realize why he loves it, you know?
But
different perspective, right? Bird's eye.
that's a great way to put it.
Gotta be loose. You could like backward engineer that, right? Mm-hmm. To use it against people receiving your spikes. Interesting. Whoa. It was like a two-step thing. He like widened his feet.
Interesting how they're drawing this. Truly perspective.
To like spring off.
Yeah.
It's like tennis.
Oh, I could see how it's like tennis.
So you can move horizontally easier?
He's learning from other sports.
I love it. Splatter step. Split step.
Yeah.
He caught it. With his face.
You're acting all cold.
This is so rewarding, man.
What did Takeda sensei say? You want them to keep thinking. Sleepover with Tendo. Sleepover with Tendo.
I love that he's trying to learn as much information as possible. Admiration. Amazing.
I love when he's practicing things, though.
It's amazing. He read it.
Mm-hmm. I always kind of liked Kendaichi.
Yeah.
昨日は我慢できなくてハンバーガー食っちゃったんだよな。島はちゃんと食ったのかな。あいつ先輩いないとすぐ残すからな。バス。電車1時間とチャリンコ30分。壊れた筋肉を飯食って修復する。そうやって。
Someone has to sneak him food.
だから食え。今まさに回復したがっている。今。
This is fantastic.
はいはい。どうした？
Like a nutritionist. I think this show shows why being a coach or a teacher would be rewarding.
I agree with you completely. Wow. They handled this so well. The independence that Hinata is gaining.
That's a great word for it. That is a great word for it. He's relying on himself and the information he can receive.
Yeah. And going the right ways about it to get that information.
Because what happened a lot last game? Suki was giving them directions or information. I have never seen sneakers look as cool as they do.
It's okay, the routine was cool. So they're all doing their own thing, progressing in their own way. Still no Kageyama, isn't that interesting? Not that I need or want
why,
it,
though.
But yeah, it's about Hinata right now, but it's interesting. Oh.
Yes, he is.
He's thinking.
Merge with his instincts.
And transform into intuition.
Like the guest monsters guessing and intuition.
Yeah.
No unnecessary filler. Suki, what's this doing to you? Does it make you want to try?
Share your meals, Suki.
Did you see that smile? Is this where we get to see what he's up to? Yes! That guy has a nice color scheme.
And confidence.
Like the maroon with his hair color.
Yeah.
It's a nice color scheme. He's having fun. No? Is that because he's used to Hinata always being wherever he tosses it? Is this gonna make you guys want to try harder?
Maybe. Suki knows that feeling. Oh.
They put him in his uniform too.
Nice. Oh!
Oh, it wasn't the
no.
face this time.
おいちょっと付き合ってくんな
For what? Are you gonna feed him? It's so suspicious for Suki to be like, come with me for a sec. I'm like,
agree.
what is he planning? What's his aim?
From like a storytelling perspective, and writing, that was one of my favorite episodes of Haikyuu ever, I think. Like, from storytelling and writing, easily by far one of my favorite episodes of Haikyuu. I'm so glad that they have Hinata. You perfectly set it up in the intro of like wanting this to feel deserved and not handed to him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they could have done a better job writing to make us feel like he deserves this progress more than he ever has before.
And what is he doing? Like he always does. He's creating this energy of want. Everyone around him always wants to try their best.
Yep.
And even Suki, I think when he says like, oh, I hate this, it's because he knows that once Hinata's around, it almost like takes over.
Yeah.
This energy and desire to play and to do your best. And obviously Suki wants to avoid that because unnecessary work and care are his enemy.
Like the motivation.
Yeah, but everyone feels it. Like Kendaichi's feeling it,
Yeah.
Goshiki's feeling it. They're all feeling it. Probably not the other, I don't remember his name, the other Albajosai first year, the one that likes to stick out his tongue, like, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know if he's feeling it, but...
No, you're right though. What would you say? Like infectious?
Yes, infectious. And like think about how quickly Hinata has swayed the other ball boys. The other like first year Shiratorizawa guys that are being the ball boys. Like that thumbs up.
Oh.
I was like, dude, they look up to you already.
Yeah, I
it's
agree.
It's like he's the upperclassman.
It's great. I agree with you completely. I love that he has that about him. You know, like it definitely relates to like a real life sense of if you surround yourself with good, healthy, productive people, that tendency rubs off, you know? That energy makes you want to be productive and good and healthy.
I think that's why Karasuno was able to make it back and start heading towards the top again as a powerhouse school, is because they have certain members of their team that have that energy of wanting to try no matter what. And it's a positive energy. I feel like some people might have that I want to try no matter what energy, and it could be intense and maybe not super positive and uplifting feeling for everyone else around them.
Like the king of the court.
Right. But when you use the word motivational, I think that was the correct word. Like this, they all have this infectious energy. Hinata totally has it.
I agree.
I mean, even that, like, I think it's really interesting that the other coach, I guess he's the assistant coach or something for Shiratorizawa, not only, I think they said in episode 1 that he recommended that Hinata be invited. And then we had, I think it was this episode that he was talking about noticing the changes already.
Yeah. And then he even like had an inner monologue of like, sorry.
Oh yeah, because he was like said his brain was empty or something. He's like, oh no, I'm sorry, it's probably not empty.
But through that, we got the confirmation of like Hinata thinking, you know, like he really is. One of the big things for me, like we had a line from him saying that he normally only focuses on the ball. I loved the idea
when he's watching like a game.
Yeah, and I think that that's a great contrast to my absolute favorite moment of the episode, which was him leaving the facility and talking about his hunger and calling Coach Ukai. And like, I understand how some people could just just like think of the humor behind that scene, nothing more. But I absolutely love that on an emotional level.
There was a sweetness to it.
It was sweet, but it was like a serious step because there's such a contrast to just looking at a ball during the game to not only thinking about in the game of volleyball how to improve yourself and what other people are doing. You're thinking about how to improve yourself in every aspect of life. Of your diet to sleep to...
I mean, that's a huge part of athletics.
Yeah.
Is getting sleep and proper nutrition.
Yeah, it is. And it was a great moment. I really enjoyed that moment of the episode.
I mean, it was a great moment to Coach Ukai, too. I mean, you saw his face. Like, that is the face of a teacher or a coach when they first feel like they've really been appreciated and or listened to by someone that they have taught.
Yeah, definitely.
And that was an emotional
What did
moment.
you say? You said something on the terms of like this show really makes you feel like you want like
it shows the reward.
Yeah, of being a teacher.
Being a teacher or a coach.
I completely agree with you. That's a really good point. I will say, it could be me. I'm open to you calling me out and saying it's me right now. I was a little bit taken out of this episode of points because I felt like the animation wasn't good sometimes. I could be very wrong, and that's on me. But I felt a little taken out of a couple moments of this episode. Whenever there was really movement, it wasn't any of the serious moments. There was something interesting or different about it from what I have come to expect from the earlier seasons. Like, I don't know any specific timestamps or whatever. In Kageyama's little section, I felt it maybe to a small degree. Like, this was fine. His smirk
and his
great.
Hair flowing as he's falling back down.
Great. But, like, I don't know. It seemed like it was, like, less detail, and the shots were just... I don't know. This is, granted, the peak of my, like here, I thought that was a little weird. I don't know. I could be totally wrong and out of it, but there was just, something that took me a little out of it several times. Like, there was no detail in the shot.
I've definitely noticed differences in terms of drawing the characters. And even when they're further away, the detail that's involved.
Yeah.
It's clear that there are certain shots that extra detail is truly given to.
Yeah.
But then there are definitely shots where it's not.
For sure. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing in anime, because that happens. You know, that like that's how budgets end up working out. But I guess like it was something I didn't necessarily notice in past seasons of Haikyuu. Like, obviously, I knew when the budget and animation went crazy, but I never was like, oh, the animation's taking me a little bit out of it. And there were only a couple times, but it was definitely apparent a couple times to me. I could just be totally talking out of my butt, though. But, like I said, the story itself and the writing, one of my favorite episodes of Haikyuu ever. It was great for me.
In terms of like editing and how they sequenced stuff, my favorite moment in this episode was when Hinata was behind that one player and it was showing like his feet and the other guy's feet, but then like, you know, and it was like these cuts, and I found that to be really satisfying.
I agree with
kind
you.
of sequence of animation. Did
you like going off of that, they also had the shot with when they were putting their uniforms, like Hinata was too.
Yeah, I loved that.
I think those were really great. I completely agree with you on that.
They're definitely drawn slightly differently, and I can't put my finger on why the facial expression. Suki kind of looks the same, and Ushijima kind of looks the same, but there's something about Hinata that looks a little different to me.
It's only in some shots to me, that it's like at all something to notice. I don't know. Maybe it's just...
Are their noses in a different place in the side profile?
I'm not really sure. Like, I thought this is an interest, like I don't know. This, the shot of...
Inoshita?
Yeah, Inoshita, I thought was like a little out there. It's not, like, awful. It's not, like, early Dragon Ball Super or anything close to it. It was just something that caught me off guard a little bit from what I'm used to in the show. You know?
Mm-hmm. Well, this episode truly was just about, I think Hinata summed it up perfectly, that this episode was about information.
Yeah.
So if that is the case, and that was the true focus of this episode, so.
Yeah.
Like they're in a tournament currently and there's these big, awesome action shot moments that deserve that detail. Very,
very good point and very, very true, because I would rather them save their budget and animation for those shots. That where they are in a tournament, like you said. And they, if it was something or wasn't, none of the moments that I felt like were trying to be serious were animated bad at all. I thought that it looked great, like, in those moments, and they really affected me. Like, I was really loving them. I love the show, honestly, man.
What did you think about, at the end there, Kageyama, his reflex to feel like Hinata's in the game with him?
That's definitely the takeaway I felt too, right? But with, like, force of habit. But it's interesting because it's something that he'll have to unlearn a little bit.
I expected more of an internal moment of him being, how could I do that? That's so embarrassing.
Yeah.
So I was a little surprised to not see. But the faces the other players are making at him when he does that is super interesting.
I agree with you.
Interesting is such a bad word to use, and I apologize for when I use it because it's really not descriptive at all, and it can be way overused. But sometimes that's just like the first perfect word that comes to mind.
Yeah, I totally feel you. I don't know. It depends on the sentence that you use it in, right?
I'm just so, like, trained from, like, writing papers that you need to avoid that word at all cost.
I'm curious to see more of Kageyama and where that leads with him.
Maybe this was setting up for next episode to be more focused on him and what he's doing.
I would be okay with that, because I'm glad that we've had more Hinata-centric, because it feels like that growth he's making is more deserved because of it.
Is this other guy, is he on Fukurodani?
Who?
This guy that's on the screen right now.
White hair?
Yeah. He's in a blue shirt, and that's one of their colors, like that kind of really bright royal cobalty blue.
Perhaps.
And he has an owl kind of like Bokudo. Mm-hmm. So it makes me wonder if he is on Fukurodani, but then, like, why would we not have met him beforehand?
Well, good question. I mean, these are, I wouldn't think it's from Fukurodani because, like, it seems like everybody else we've met is from a different team within the National Youth Intensive Training Camp.
I was just suspicious because of his color palette and then his animal-esque features.
Yeah. I get you. In regards to Ushijima, I would love to live inside that man's mind for one day.
Oh, when he smiled there, him and Tendo's friendship, maybe that's the best friendship in this show.
Yeah. It's up there, and I love Ushijima's just, like, opinion of Kageyama and Hinata, like, being people, like, monsters.
Humans.
Yeah, and then Tendo's like, well, you could be a monster too.
Okay, what are the friendships? Okay, that are like, so we
Kenma Kuro.
Kenma Kuro. I was thinking Asahi and Nishimiya because they have such an interesting bad word. Their dynamic in the first season was really great with the fact that neither of them were in the club at the beginning because of that kind of fallout that they had. Mm-hmm. And then Suki and Yamaguchi, Kageyama, Hinata,
Kyoko, and Tanaka. A little bit.
Oh, that's a good one.
Honestly,
but Tendo and Ushijima might be the best.
I really loved it. I love their relationship so much. That might be the best
dynamic.
If we redid the tier list already, I'd put them up tiers, like,
honestly,
higher.
I would probably change a few people after just three
Three
episodes of
episodes.
the show.
I
Maybe not dramatically changed, but slight.
I have to say, I'm really enjoying Hinata's character. I like a lot. I'm very glad with the developments he made in this episode.
So he can stay at S+.
Yeah, maybe a little higher. I don't know. I'm excited. It does make me very curious as to what Kageyama's gonna do. Like it to make it so Hinata's not even a step further ahead. You know?
What is his progress supposed to be? I don't like. There was a lot that Hinata needs to learn or needs to practice, but what is it that Kageyama's missing?
I don't think we know because we don't know enough about volleyball.
I don't think we've heard a character even necessarily say what Kageyama was missing.
Maybe just natural versatility like Oikawa has, like with, like he can
yes,
be anybody's
Oikawa's the
setter.
perfect example.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that was probably the only time we've ever been highlighted about Kageyama's shortcomings.
Yeah.
Was that he, and that's the one time Kageyama even admitted what he wished he could have.
Yep.
So
So I think
that's
maybe
it.
in that direction.
That'd be nice.
Maybe get some like fashion choices from him too. You know, Oikawa has a lot to offer people. All right, I'm good. You? Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we hope to see you next time.